Hi guys, this is Natasha from US Network project, and today, if you survived 2 of our previous videos, we're going to continue talking about US consensus blockchain algorithm called delegated proof of importance, and in particular how your social activity rate is calculated using a special network called network of trusts. The first 2 videos, the introductory video on the algorithm and the first video on social activity rate calculation, are available on our YouTube channel, and the links to those videos are going to be under this video below, so you can either refresh yourself or just get yourself familiar with the algorithm. As I told you guys, delegated proof of importance is our blockchain consensus algorithm that takes into account not only your stake on the network, but also your economic activity and your social activity that constitutes the overall rate. And today we'll continue talking about the social activity component of this importance rate. And just to remind you real quick that you can think about any digital network or social digital network as a web of entities, individuals, organizations, whatever, we call them accounts, and some relationships between those accounts. On our decentralized application called U Community, there are several types of social relationships that are recorded at the moment, and they serve as an input data for the algorithm that computes social activity rate. Those relationships are upvotes, reposts, and downvotes. But pretty much upvotes is the most important one that matters. And so basically it's like that. You have an account and then you post some content, or you post a comment or something, and then other users can upvote that comment, or they can repost your content, or they also can subtract their previously added upvote, which is done using the downvote option. So those are going to be those incoming social transactions that will serve as an input for the computation. Apart from this, we call it a social economic network, right? Why we call it a social economic network? Because these are your accounts, and you have those social and economic relationships between each other. The economic relationship is really just one. It's transfers. You can transfer tokens to other users and receive tokens from other users. We're not going to talk about this part right now, but basically to give you an idea of what this is. This is your social economic network. Apart from the social economic network, you have a second network that is implemented in order to help to protect the algorithm and the users from the botnet attacks that try to increase their importance rate by imitating activity on the network. This second network of connections is called network of trusts. The second network that I'm talking about, the network of trusts, was implemented in order to protect the network from the botnet attacks, as I already told you guys. So how does this network really work? There is a special button on U Community application. You can go to someone's profile and push the trust button, which will basically mean that you believe that this particular user is a real user, or a meaningful user, or a valuable user, and so you kind of vote for them and say, hey, I trust this person. So the network of trust originates from that relationship. You have accounts in the network, and you have those trust relationships that go between those accounts. And from these trusts given by other participants to your account, your validity is going to be calculated, and that validity will be a part of computation of your social activity rate. Basically, the higher is your validity, the higher potentially will be your social activity rate. In the video on the social activity rate calculation, I'm just reminding you guys, there are two components that influence your priority during this social rate calculation. This is your stake and this validity value, and the community can put different weights on those two components depending on how they prefer it to be. So how do we get this second network called network of trusts? How does it originate? The same thing, you have accounts in the network, right? Your account, someone else's account, some organization's account, and there is a special relationship called trust between those accounts. If you are on the U Community app and you go to someone's profile, you can see that button called trust, which you can push and transmit a trust to another participant. Which basically means that you believe that this participant is either a real person or a real organization, or a valuable person and valuable, meaningful organization. So now, after you transmitted your trust using this trust button, it's going to become one of those incoming transactions to someone else's account. So let's consider an abstract account here, and someone gives a trust to this account, and you give a trust to this account, and someone else gives a trust to this account. At any point in time, it doesn't matter when this trust transaction was performed, it's going to become an input data for the calculation of this user's validity value. And this user validity value will influence the calculation of their social rate, okay? So, important thing that you guys need to understand is that the trust that you give to this account depends on your stake. The larger is your stake value, the higher is the value of trust that you are going to give to this account. The logic behind this is the following. If you have a high stake on the network, that means that you are a valuable or trustworthy or a meaningful, active user on the network. So your trust matters more. Validity value of each user is calculated using another PageRank procedure based on this incoming trust transactions. As I already told you, the priorities for different trust transactions will be different depending on the stake value of the user who gives the trust. And as an outcome of the algorithm, you're going to receive some value of validity that using the standardization and heaviside function operations will be turned into a value between 0 and 1. Right? So your validity might be either 0 or some number that is going to be less than 1. And the higher this number is, the more important your upvote that you give to other users, so your social transaction, and also the higher is the potential social rate that you yourself can receive during the social rate computation, where this validity value is going to be used. Okay guys, so this is it for today. Thank you for your attention. As usually, we are really keen to receive your suggestions, comments, and questions down below under this YouTube video or on our U Community network. For a rigorous technical explanation of the algorithm, please refer to our yellow paper, and the link to the yellow paper is also going to be down below this video. See you next time. Bye.